Hi, this is Victoria Campisi with 1851 Franchise, and today I'm here with Dan Aronoff of FranNet. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dan.
Thanks for having me, Victoria.
So to get started, can you tell me what makes you a successful franchise broker?
Sure. I would define success based on my clients' positive feedback and overall experience. So I get a lot of satisfaction when I hear my clients say, Dan really took the time to understand how I tick and match me up with a franchise that was a great fit and utilized my skill sets and met my goals. Dan was honest and provided excellent information on the franchise industry. Dan was incredibly responsive, but not pushy or demanding at all. 10 years later, Dan continues to be a trusted advisor and helpful resource. So when I hear things like that, I feel like adding value and making a difference. And I had one other thing. I'm local here in Tennessee. I know this market incredibly well, and I feel that adds a lot of value for my clients too.
Great. What advice do you have for people wanting to become franchise owners?
I would boil it down to three things. One, and this might seem obvious, but give yourself permission to look. There are a lot of people that have a desire to get into business for themselves, but very few ever look. So and that's because of the risk, the fear of failure, the cost, the doubts of whether they have the skills to succeed, and really not knowing how to do proper due diligence. And that's kind of where we come into play. I'm going to provide a very well-organized, methodical process to evaluate franchises. That starts with our proprietary assessment, which assesses your motivations, your skill sets, and that's how we match people up with franchises. Second, you got to conduct proper due diligence, peel back the onion, really learn the ins and outs of the business. Do you have the proper skill sets? And validate, talk to franchisees and hear their story. Why did they choose that franchise? What's gone well? What hasn't gone well? And most importantly, if they had to do it over again, would they still buy that franchise? And third, I would say seek out professional advisors. Again, being in Tennessee, I can connect you with local resources such as franchise attorneys, CPAs, lenders. So I think those would be three key things on what franchisees should be looking for.
Great. What does winning look like for you?
Winning for me is helping to clarify one's career aspiration. So for some, that means matching them up with a franchise that's a great fit and helps them fulfill their dreams of business ownership. For others, it may mean helping them determine that business ownership is not right for them, and that's totally okay. It's not right for everybody. And in a lot of cases, Victoria, I would say that in some cases it reinvigorates their passion for their current job. So either way, I feel if I'm bringing clarity to the process, it's a victory for both parties.
Awesome. What advice do you have for franchisors wanting your help on awarding more franchisees?
We need to work together. So timely updates and responsiveness is key. It's also helpful if I get the franchisor's research timeline so that I can then share that with my client and set expectations. Honest feedback and transparency is a must. This is a huge decision. So it's important that we make sure that it's the right fit for both parties.
And then how can franchisors better communicate with you?
Have a Calendly link or some feature where I can easily schedule time to connect and talk about where our client is. And this might seem strange, but anytime we're communicating via email, always have your contact information available. It's just about making sure that I have easy access to connecting.
Great. Well, that's everything I have for you, Dan. Thanks so much for your time.
Excellent. Appreciate it.